Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, anytime I do load a new video, you will be notified. And if you could also comment, like, and share this video, that would be amazing. So I wanted to do or start something new. I don't know how well this is going to go over. This might just be something I do in my own time. But I did pick up those recipe sheets in my Joann's haul, and I'll link that video below because I wanted to do some Happy Meal. And I think that I hope that's not trademarked, but I want to do some Happy Meal videos where I go over recipes that I make and I put in here. So I did make this little recipe book here just because I only bought the sheets. I didn't buy one of their recipe planner thingies. I didn't see a point to that. And this is in the classic size. Now I do have a video on how I made my own classic size Happy Notes already, so I'll go ahead and link that in the description box below. With this cover, I did just do packing tape on it. For this cover, I did use a laminator and laminated it, and I think it came out adorable. I am just too thrilled with how cute this little planner came out. So this little recipe book came out. So let me put this to the side. So let me show you this really quick. So this was, as I typically do, it is a file folder. This was a sticker from the Farmhouse sticker. And then this actually came on a sheet of stickers that I had with some scrapbooking paper that I had, because I use scrapbooking paper when I make my cash envelopes and my traveler's notebook style covers. So I had it already. It's not inherently recipe-ish, but I thought it just came out super cute. I love this. And then on the inside, I put some stickers. I had some recipe style scrapbooking paper because I did make a traveler's notebook that is, I believe, currently in my shop that is sort of recipe themed, and this is just my divider. I've yet to put a tab, but that's something that's going to happen down the line. And I love that it's just so homey. I don't know why, but I do. And I just use my punch and I punch this out. This is 9.25 by 7 as a classic size is. I already had the discs. I didn't have enough gold discs, but I had gold and black, so that's why it's mixed up that way. These are the recipe pages that I did pick up in that Joann's haul, and I actually segregated by color. So all of the green is here, and then I have another one of those pages that I make as a divider, and then this is the second page. And then again, another divider that I made. And this is the third color. And then the final divider and the fourth color, because it's 10 sheets of each of these colors, and it is back and forth. So you potentially have 80 places to put a recipe, although if it is a particular long recipe, you could just carry it over to the back. And then I had one of these accessory packs, so I just put in the folder because it is classic sized. And then I had, this is the paper that came with this, and I had this in my stash. And so I just kept this in the back just because it made it a little bit thicker, plus I may want to write some notes down. And I'm thinking that'll be more of a section of ideas of recipes I want to put in here. And the reason I did section it off, one, because each of these pages are different color of the 4 colors, I do want to keep different sections. Now the recipe that I'm going to be doing is a entree recipe. So it is a recipe for a creamy chicken taco casserole. That's what I'm calling it. I sort of made it up and love the results. So this first section I think is going to be sides and appetizers. And so let's put it in this second section where I think we're going to be doing our entrees slash main dishes. So let's get this together. Hopefully this is in frame. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not authentic. And that might sound weird because I don't know that there is an authentic chicken taco casserole, but it isn't. It isn't authentic to anything. It is something I just made up because I had certain ingredients I knew I wanted to use. I just didn't know I wanted to use them. And I loved the results. So quick and easy. And this dish I actually did strictly in the microwave. So that's why it is quick and easy, because it's made with some pretty, I think, standard pantry items. And it comes together rather quickly. So what you're going to need, now the one that I made was, it was in an 8.5, or it might have been an 8 by 11. It wasn't your standard 9 by 13 casserole dish. It was smaller. It was smaller widthwise, it was smaller lengthwise, but not a lot smaller. So I think it was like 8.5 or 8 by 11. And so that's the casserole dish that I did. And because I put it in the microwave, it was actually glass. But if you are going to follow this recipe like I have it, you're just going to want to make sure it is microwave safe. If you want to put it in the oven, then make sure that it is oven safe, because the glass casserole dish that I use can go either in the microwave or in the oven. But as you know, there are just certain things that just can't go certain places. So just be aware of that. I don't want anyone to comment me that I blew up their house because they used the wrong container. So ingredients you're going to need are 2 cups of cheese, and that's shredded. Actually, let me take this off. I bought the pre-shredded kind. I know people do have, not ideas, but they do have opinions about that. Now, if you can shred your own, if you have the time or the wherewithal, then definitely shred your own. It's better, it melts better, because the pre-shredded stuff is already coated. But this is a quick and easy recipe, and that's part of the quickness, is you're not spending 8 million years shredding cheese. Because I don't mind it, I don't like it. So yeah, bought the pre-shredded stuff, and then I had some chicken. I actually used the canned chicken from Costco, which worked perfectly fine, although you can use rotisserie chicken. You could boil a piece of chicken. I mean, again, for the quick and easy part, just use the canned stuff and then drain off the water. Shredded chicken. And I had a cup of softened cream cheese. And I took mine straight out of the fridge. That does not whip up easily, so I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and that worked a treat. Although if you wanted to, you could also just leave it to come to room temperature on its own. It doesn't go bad. I mean, you certainly want to make this within like an hour or two, but if you have it sitting out on your counter covered, and it's not terribly too hot, so Andy, you may actually not need to do this for very long if you make this recipe, because you know, I think she said the other day on her video, it was like 100 and something degrees there. Yeah, I don't know how to factor that into having something come to room temperature, but yeah, it shouldn't go bad. A half a cup of salsa. And that's any brand, any style, any one you want. And 1 to 1.5 cups of taco sauce. Taco sauce. My favorite taco sauce brand is Old El Paso taco sauce, but just use your favorite brand. And I'm talking about the thin taco sauce. And because you need quite a bit of it, you'll probably want to buy the bottle. And 1/4 of a cup of chopped green onion. Now with all recipes that are not baking in nature, because baked goods are usually, there's like a chemical reaction that happens, so you have to follow it to the letter. But with just regular cooking recipes, you can add or subtract things as you want. So if you're not a big fan of green onion, see, and talking and doing is very difficult for me. All right, guys, so I rewrote this. Now, this isn't so much because I don't like mistakes, because, you know, if you've watched me, you know that's not really a thing for me, but I want to keep this. And so if I want to try to recreate this, although there's actually something funny about that, then I want it to be as accurate as I can. So let's try this again. So for this easy and quick creamy chicken taco casserole, you will need 2 cups of shredded cheese. Again, if you want to pre-grate your own, or if you want to buy pre-grated, that is up to you. You are the chef of your kitchen. 1.5 cups of shredded chicken. I did use canned chicken, although you can use any cooked chicken that you like. You could also substitute ground turkey that you've cooked, ground chicken, ground beef, whatever. But this recipe, I just used canned chicken. 1 cup of softened cream cheese. Again, if you want to, you can just microwave it for about 30 seconds in a microwave safe bowl. 1/2 cup of salsa. Now, with the salsa, the taco sauce, and the taco seasoning, if you like things hot, just remember you've got the creamy aspect, so it won't be as hot as you might think, but because you are compounding the heat in potentially 3 different ways, if you like a medium heat, just be aware that if you use hot salsa and hot taco sauce and hot taco seasoning, then it might come out hotter than you anticipated, or not as hot because of all of the cheesy, creamy elements. Just be aware of that, because I used mild everything, and then I had actually medium and hot taco sauce that I had already had on the side to add up the heat level if I wanted to, because you can always add heat. It's just really hard to take it away. So 1/2 cup of salsa, 1.5 cups of taco sauce. Again, my favorite brand is Old El Paso, but you can use whatever taco sauce you like. You just want it to be the thin kind. There's no chunks or anything in it. 1/4 of a cup of chopped green onion, 1 packet of taco seasoning, which I believe comes out to 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. If you buy the Costco sized one, or if you make your own, then 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning is fine, because that's the equivalent. 15 to 20 corn tortillas. Now, I don't know that I've ever seen any other than just like that sized corn tortillas, because I know flour tortillas can come out a lot bigger, they have like the 8 and the 10 and the 12, but in corn tortillas I only ever see like that size, and that's the one I used. The bag actually came with 30 corn tortillas, so I only used half the bag, which is fine because I can always recreate this. although I did use the tortillas for something else. And then I like corn, so I added a drained can of corn kernels to my mixture. And the Mexicorn that they sell in the grocery store that already has like the onions and then the bell peppers, I think would work really well with this. Now with this, you can choose to add in other things. This is the actual recipe that I used, but you can choose to add in a can of green chilies, saute onions, jalapenos, black olives, bell pepper, cilantro, Chinese parsley, same thing, just because I didn't have any of those things, and I am not a fan of black olives, so that's never going to go anything that I had. And I truly wanted this to be easy because I actually like onions, but my family is not a huge fan of onions, and because I didn't want to have to cook them, because I wanted this to be really quick, these are just pantry or refrigerated items that I had that I could assemble really quickly and get on the table really quickly. But there are, like I said, those optional add-ins of jalapenos, olives, because my dad and my brother love olives, sauteed onions, green chilies, bell pepper, optional add-ins. And for the jalapenos, here in my house, we only, if we have, it's the pickled kind, although I think a fresh chopped jalapeno would work really well, again, depending on what your heat level is. I think that would be good. Cilantro, Chinese parsley. And so what you're going to want to do in your large mixing bowl, you're going to want to mix your softened cream cheese, your drained or shredded chicken. Because I use canned chicken, I needed to make sure it was drained. 1 1/4 cup of your shredded cheese. We will be using the rest of that cheese in a little bit. Your 1/2 cup of salsa, your corn, 3 tablespoons of the green onions. There are 4 tablespoons in a 1/4 cup. So you will have 1 tablespoon left. If you really like green onion, then add more, but the 1/4 cup should be fine. And your entire packet of taco seasoning, and then just mix that well. And then put that to the side, and in your microwave safe dish, and I did put an asterisk, and I'll talk about that in a second. You're going to want to put a thin layer of your taco sauce, which can be anywhere between 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup. Again, you just want an even layer because you're going to be putting your tortillas right on top, and you don't want any dry patches. So once you put your taco sauce on the bottom, just swirl it around to evenly coat, and then add a single layer of your corn tortillas. Now I used a rectangle casserole dish, so you may need to rip some of your pieces to fit. I used about 5 pieces per layer, so that's why it's 15 to 20 corn tortillas. Now, depending on the dish that you use, you may need more or less. If you use a bigger dish, you'll need more. If you use a smaller dish, it'll be higher and you'll use less. Again, you are the chef of your kitchen, you can figure that out. So once you have the thin layer of taco sauce and you have the layer of corn tortillas, then you're going to want to top with 1/2 of your creamy chicken mixture, because we're going to do this sort of like a lasagna style. And then you're going to put, and you'll spread that evenly, because again, you just want nice even layers. You'll top that with 1/4 cup of taco sauce. Again, we just want a thin layer of that, and you're going to smooth that evenly over the chicken layer. And then you're going to repeat that for step number 4. So you're going to have 2 different layers of the tortilla, taco sauce, tortilla, creamy chicken, taco sauce, tortilla, creamy chicken, taco sauce, and then we get to step 5, which is the final layer of tortillas. You're going to use the remaining of your taco sauce because, again, we don't want any of the tortilla showing. If you have any patches of tortilla that is not covered in some sort of sauce, whether it's the creamy chicken or whether it's the taco sauce, they can get really hard and brittle and not so tasty. So definitely make sure everything is covered in full, and you're going to want to spread that evenly. You're going to use the remaining 3/4 cup of cheese and spread that over the top, and then sprinkle that last tablespoon of green onions on the top of that. Cover it with saran wrap, and make sure that you leave. So if your dish is like that, cover the whole thing with saran wrap, but leave just a little corner to vent it because you don't want this to explode in your microwave. Now, I don't know that it will, but you really don't want it if it does. So vent it like that. Now, I say to microwave it on high for 7 to 10 minutes. You may want to check it after 7. Really, everything is cooked in this, so to speak, so we're just trying to heat it through and sort of meld these layers together. So after 7, check it. Be careful, it will be hot. So, you know, I don't want any comments saying I burned my fingers because no one said it was going to be hot. Yeah. And then right when you think, okay, it's nearly done, take off the saran wrap and then microwave it for an extra minute, just because you want the top layer to be just ooey gooey bubbly cheesiness. Okay. And you can actually serve this immediately. It's because we're not using a ton of sauce, it isn't as soupy as you think, and the corn tortillas actually soak up a lot of it. But you can serve it immediately, or you can wait like 5 minutes and serve it then. And I wanted to talk about this asterisk right here. If you are going to put this in the oven, then you want to do an oven safe dish. Because I can't think. So like in the oven safe dish, you can use glass, you can use metal. In microwave, you can only use glass or like ceramic. You can't use metal. But again, depending on what you have, use that. But in an oven safe dish, in your preheated 350 degree oven, you'll want to bake this for 30 to 45 minutes. And again, we're really just looking for ooey gooey-ness. So I didn't bake it, but I'm assuming that's how long it would take. You'll probably want to check after like 20. And cover with foil. And because it goes in the oven, you're actually going to want to cover the whole thing. And then like the last 5 minutes, you're going to want to uncover it again for the maximum ooey gooey-ness. Now in the 8x5 dish that I used, I guess we'll do that here. 8.5, nope, by 11 dish that I use. And what makes me think that's not correct is because that's a piece of paper. But I think I measured it, and I think it might have been like 8x11, something. It was just smaller than a 9x13. That I was able to get 8 servings. But that's because we had it as with other things. So the way that I ate mine, I had made some Spanish rice out of a packet because I don't know how to make it from scratch. And a side of salad and then a piece of this. If you are not serving any sides, then it may only serve 4 to 6 people. If you're doing lots of sides, then this might serve 8 to 10 people. Again, we were able to get 8 servings out of this. So I thought it was really good. From start to finish, it took about 20 minutes to include the prep time, and that was just opening cans, draining cans, and things like that. The time savers here is the microwave, the shredded chicken, and the pre-shredded cheese. All of that helped. Using the microwave to soften the cream cheese helped. And I think I thought this was quite delicious for just a spur of the moment. Okay, I have these things, let's figure out what to do with them. I definitely will make this again because we are heading into the summer. It is quite a heavy dish because of all of the creamy elements, but it is a quick dinner that you could put together after work with minimal fuss. Because if I'm thinking about if I were to do this after work, I'd come home, put all these things together, get changed, and then by the time I was done changing and just taking a bit of a breather, I'd have dinner ready for me. If you've got kids, this would be a great recipe because that's something, if they're older, they can make on their own, or if you are working as well, or you're running around doing soccer things or summer school things, it does put together really quickly. Again, because at least when I did it, I used a lot of pantry and refrigerated items. There wasn't anything that really needed to be cooked, actually at all, other than the cooking of the dish itself. Now, what makes this particularly crazy cuckoo is I already have this. Because I have this recipe on my blog. I thought people might want it, so you're not going to want to screenshot this. You may not be able to read my writing. So this is already up. This has been up for the last week, so you can just go over there and it's on the actual blog, but then there's also something at the bottom of the blog that you can print, which is a Word document, or I think it's a PDF document. So it's crazy because I could just punch this and put this in here. But guys, I have all of these papers. So yeah, I know it's a bit crazy cuckoo nuts to do all the work to get it here and then to do all the work to get it here. But that's how we roll on my channel. You're welcome. And because I have stickers, I am going to add a sticker. You know what? Let's call this a lesson plan. And I know it's just all kinds of silliness, but there, I've added a sticker. Oh, let's add two. Let's go wild and crazy. And actually, I looked through my sticker books, and I don't know that I have any food-related stickers. I have some fruit ones, but this has nothing to do with fruit, and it's not even remotely healthy, except you're not buying it fast food and it's not deep fried. But yeah, that is my quick and easy creamy chicken taco casserole. Now again, let me know in the comments below, is this something that you even want to see here on my channel? Because I do plan on putting recipes on my blog. I do plan on writing recipes in here, but if this is not of interest to you guys, then I'll just do this on my own time and then actually work the other way. Well, I'll work from a recipe that I've written down versus blogging it and then writing it in here because it's a lot of work. Yeah, I don't make things easy on myself because why? All right, guys, here is my first happy meal for creamy chicken taco casserole. If you guys are interested, I will do some more of these. And as always, guys, aloha.